Hey guys, Marty Boots here. Today I just want to make this educational video for everybody, and it's about the RSI, and it's how to trade the RSI like a pro. So first off, we'll start with a very simple fact and concept that if you're above the 50 on the RSI, you're bullish. If you're below, you're bearish. And it is really that simple in a way, but there's a lot more to it. That's the very basics of it. Now we're just going to start here, and I've got it on a 12-hour chart because there's less signals than maybe a 4-hour chart, and we can see the full trend here on ADA. This is the whole history of ADA basically, so I just managed to squeeze that in there just about. So we want to start here, and we're going to just start from the very start, and we're going to work our way through the whole chart just to give an idea. Now, from what I said, above is bullish and below is bearish, so to speak. But you want to notice how the RSI plays out and how it reacts to different levels and stuff. But you can see down here, the RSI, we're obviously bearish, but when price moves up here to the 50 line, you have to consider that price is going to turn bullish. Down here is oversold, yes, and a lot of people look at oversold levels, and it's really only good to use this for divergences. If I zoomed in here now, you would probably see a divergence on that chart because you can see the up move here. I'm not going to do that now, but it is good to look for divergences on the RSI. But I'm not going to go into that right now. So, but you can see here that the important thing to note here, we had a failed break above the RSI, but it was, you can see here from a microscopic, I can probably zoom that in a little bit, and we'll work through it maybe. Might just give you a better clue. You know, this would have been a huge move back in the day, so it's nothing to be sniffed at. But you can see here the RSI broke bullish, and it's a big move. Like, I don't want to start putting percentages on this, but I just want to give you a proper gauge. You know, there's it's a 50% move there, so just understand that. So it's a huge move to the upside. But what it did was it had a failed move on the RSI, and notice that the RSI remained strong. Price dropped back probably half of that. You know, probably maybe almost all of that. Not quite all of it, but it gave back about 70% of it roughly. But the RSI remained strong, and what it done was it consolidated just below the 50, and this is vitally important, crucial. Otherwise, if the RSI had come back down here, it's a sign of weakness. If it came back down to oversold levels, it's just a terrible sign. It's a sign of a weak stock, or sorry, a weak coin. And it remained here. This is key, pivotal. You need to look for this. And what happened as soon as we broke above again, you know, price went crazy to the upside. Again, you know, whatever, you know, almost 400%, and that was only the start of it. So the key here is to notice the RSI remains strong, even though the price is pulling back. The pullback can go almost as deep as it wants, it does not matter, but if the RSI remains strong here, you need to be alert, and you need to be watching this for an entry. Again, so price broke out, now we're in bullish territory, very bullish, and price rolled over. But where did price go? Price rolled over, you know, it gave back 70% of that move again, and that's just from eye in it, by the way. But you can see here it still remained, it did spike there down lower, but it remained just under the 50 basing on what happened, and that's a sign of strength. So that sign of strength, as soon as we broke out above the 50 again, I mean, we went thousands of percents after that. So I'll just make this chart a bit smaller to make it easier to look at. So you can see here now, crazy strong, crazy up move. Of course, there's going to be some sort of pullback. I mean, you use the RSI in conjunction with price action. mean, you can see this big failed candle here for a start. I mean, you know that there's some trouble ahead, but you can see the price. What did it do? It started basing here around the 50. Usually a very bad sign of weakness after a big uptrend. It's a sign that the uptrend is probably broken. The uptrend is no more. It's not enough. There's not enough strength left to push this back higher. So what happened? Price broke below the RSI 50 and tanked. And people are thinking this is a buy opportunity. Yes, it was for that scalp, but in the overall trend, you can see what happened. We went up and we based underneath the 50. Very important. The 50 is now resistance, which shows you're in a bear trend, bear market, bear trend, whatever you want to call it. And when price rejected here again, what happened? Price sold off. Price bounced to the 50, could not hold, rejected and sold off. Price bounced to the 50, rejected, but what happened? RSI stayed above, or stayed basing just below the 50. It stayed basing, but as soon as you see this starting to break above the 50, you know, you're still really low on the trend here, you're still down here, and price broke up the 50, above the 50. This is bullish, and you can see what happened afterwards. You know, we retested. This retest here was key. This is beautiful. Like it's amazing. RSI, and the RSI, what happened? It started moving higher, and what happened? Price exploded to the upside. And again, you know, and that's not even correct there, but you know, you're probably talking 100% move. I didn't draw that correctly. 94% move. So, and then price even retested the 50 again here, very important. And what happened? Price moved higher to new highs. But here's where the divergences comes in. This is obviously a very clear one just when I'm going through this, so you can all see. So we had a massive divergence on the chart and on the RSI, which is very bearish. Now, if I'm doing all this off the cuff, guys. I've not researched any of this. This is all just this is just the way I look at charts. When I look through a chart, this is what I do. So you can see here, you know, this basically just broke. There's probably a small divergence here as well. Now when I notice this, you know, this little tiny one, and also a smaller one right here. So you can see that there's also a double bearish divergence. But notice that we are in between we're into this resistance here. You know, this has now become resistance. These are these pivots here, and this base, these are now resistance, but they are also into the 38%. So you can see that into the 38% with the double bearish divergence. You know, and also look at this right here. We break below the 50. So right here, you know, you need to be out of this. You got to be out of this, and you got to be short. If you can short this, you need to short that. And now we are below, which means we are bearish. We tried to break above. As soon as we failed, you can even see this back test here. If I move the mouse now, you can see a little back test there, and we back tested right in here, which is also, you also incorporate your moving averages. So you incorporate a lot of stuff when you're reading a chart. It moved up, and it's a failed break of the moving averages, and obviously with confluence as a secondary factor, the third factor, your price action, is number one, your moving average is number two, your RSI number three. It's breaking below, and it's breaking below the RSI, so you know you're in a bear trend, and here we go, we're after the races again onto the downside. So you can see it's the same the whole way down. Bear trend, we cannot get above the 50. Pierced above it, back down. Pierced above it, back down. But notice the RSIs keeping price suppressed. And again, first touch on the 50 here, reversed. First touch on the 200, reversed. You know, as soon as you get back down here, obviously, you might have been getting faked out here. Sometimes this is hard to read, but because you have had a bit of move, you've had a higher high here, and you might be thinking here, okay, maybe we're going to make a push higher and test these moving averages again. But you can see here the RSI failed, and we are now below the 50. Massive sign of weakness. So price rolled over, and you can see here we just tested the 50, bearish, tested the 50, bearish, tested the 50, bearish, and we were just rejected and started rolling over. Now here again, let me make this chart a bit bigger so everybody can see it. I know these videos start to run on, guys, but it's very important content, and I really want to teach everybody or just help everybody, because the more people that understand this, when this bull market starts to come, we're going to find more trades and we're going to make more money. So it's in my best interest to help you guys as well. I'm happy to help you, and I like helping you. And the more money, the more we all know, the more money we're all going to make. So that's my motto on the group. I want everybody to become great traders and understand the market. So where was I now? We had this failed spike higher, and then we broke below, so we had this big huge sell-off. Now here's where things get important again. So you can see this rejection here, and we rejected and we came down to new lows. Now price remains stable. Here's more divergences. I know that is it is an up move, and it's not a bearish divergence, but notice the RSI. The RSI is totally different. It is a divergence, but it's not a clean divergence. Price has almost come back down to par, to level here, but the RSI is showing a sign of strength. This is very important to notice. Now you can see here as it came up here, and as soon as we started to break this RSI, we're still relatively low here. You know that the trend is potentially turning bullish. So look what happened. We went into a huge bull market. From somewhere, where was it? Right here somewhere. If I can get that candle, it's somewhere there anyway. But I mean, you can see there, it's another 100% move to the upside. And so price moved higher, but notice now this is starting to get key again. The moving averages are starting to act as support. So price dipped into them, but it also support from the 50 on the RSI. Massively important, and also massively important, the price is now using the moving averages as support. So, and we're above the 50, so this is bullish. So the sentiment and the price action and the strength, I should say, of the coin, of the movement, is bullish. And what happened? We moved higher, and we broke above all moving averages. Now again, you can see a bearish divergence. I know this video is running long here, but I just want to work through this whole chart, the whole history of ADA. So you can see the bearish divergence here. So you know you're going to get a sell-off. So if you recognize this as a bearish divergence here and here, you need to be looking at, obviously, at price action. Now you can I can put a fib on that. I'm just doing all this for my guys. This is all just live here. So you can see here, this moved perfectly into the 61%, perfectly for a short position, because this is bearish. This big action, bearish divergence, big red candle. So you can be assuming that this is bearish. So you see the spike into the 61. You can look to take a short, and the RSI has already been basing here. Look at this. I mean, I probably should have drew an arrow here or whatever, but you can see it's almost like a bear flag, and price is basing here to break below. And what happened? Price based and basically rolled over, so very bearish. Now again, we'll go to this part, and this is a bullish divergence. The RSI created equal lows. I mightn't have drew that correctly, but you can see it's equal lows here, but price has made lower lows, and this is a bullish divergence. So that is your first clue and your first key sign that there may be an uptrend in the making. And what happened? Price broke up. Now you can see here above the 50, you can be looking to take a buy, which would be around here somewhere. So you could buy here, and you did get a bit of an up move, and it wasn't fully sustained. But price did roll over, and it rolled back below. But let me just clean this up very quickly. I want to put this on very roughly here, just to clean it up a bit. Now look at this. Again, this is a bullish divergence. Look at the bullish divergence. The price came down. The RSI formed a higher low. It's bullish divergence here on the RSI, but price was down at equal. So the RSI was higher. So again, you need to be looking at this as a potential up move and an up move in price. So what happened? The RSI turned bullish. The RSI pushed higher. And as soon as this RSI starts moving above the 50 on a bullish divergence, you know, you need to be getting long here. And I just want to show you, like, it's this candle here. This candle here is the bullish divergence. It's probably even before that. You might have even got in. You might have even got in on this small candle here, and price just pushed higher. And we all know what happens when price gets above all moving averages, especially in the right conditions. And this is on a bullish divergence. So again, price just skyrocketed to the upside above all moving averages, and the RSI was bullish. Now, to today's trend, what is happening here? Price is still bearish. You know, you can try and catch a fall knife here, but the thing is, you really want to see strength to the upside on the RSI, just like here. We need to see some strength. If I took you right back to the beginning, we could get an example of this, maybe a really good example. Well, I can just use this in the meantime, as this is a very oversold level. So we spiked right down now, and we're into this oversold territory. But you can see here on this little spike, I'll use this one, sorry, but you can see the spike is bringing us up to the RSI 50, even though the price has not moved higher that much. This is what we need to see here. We need to see the RSI gain some strength, even though price does not move higher that much. And when we get that bounce, we can start to look at a trend change. Otherwise, this could continue, you know, for months. Who knows? You know, days, weeks. You know, we just don't know. RSIs can continue oversold or overbought for a long time. Like, people probably thought that this was overbought and maybe trying to short sell, and you know, and even here they probably thought it was overbought. And then trying to short sell. But look again, look at the bearish divergence here. You know, the bearish divergence took a long time to play out, but price probably went another 30% higher. So you need to be looking at this RSI and waiting for this to turn a bit bullish. And once we get that, you're not going to catch the exact lows. It's tough to catch a fall knife, but this is a safe strategy. And this is how to trade the RSI like a pro. So anyway guys, 18 minutes. I'm going to cut it off there. And I hope this video helped. And this is for the members only in Discord. So I hope you liked and appreciate the video, guys. And thanks for watching. And please give the video a thumbs up. And comment if you can, please, because it helps the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.